grass fields. So what I might do is do I want to do that one first? Yeah, why not? So this is another grass field. Going to have a lot of grass for winter. Try not to bash the boom on the tree. Alrighty. So this is another fairly small field, low nitrogen requirement. Won't take us long to complete this one. This one does not look so bad for over nitrogenated ground. I don't know what it is with about that field that we did just before this one, but looks like we might have missed a lot of crop. Just ended up driving over it or something. I think I've said I could get wider booms here, but the smaller booms are easier to maneuver when you've got all the hedges close to the fields. And also a patch missed there. So we've got a couple of grass fields where grass just didn't get seeded. But anyway. Actually, this is looking quite good. If we do this field and then the one on the other side of those trees just ahead of us, that should be... that field doesn't look quite so badly malnourished. I won't use a lot of fertilizer on it. We can then, we'll take a read on the tank capacity, maybe go do 22, get paid, go to the store, buy some more fertilizer. Do I need to go to the store and buy more fertilizer? Could just go back to the farm and buy more fertilizer. It depends how I feel. We'll see. Because we can never have too much fertilizer on the farm, it's just that we don't use that much. Obviously come spring when we're planting corn or maize, we're going to need an absolute metric ton of fertilizer for that. And then as we do more and more arable fields, run away dear, more and more arable fields, we are going to be chomping into fertilizer far more significantly. Not sure if I'm going to bother doing canola. We'll see. I mean, obviously the big crop for Scotland is generally barley. Could look at ground crops, doing potatoes or sugar beets or something. Potatoes is a thing, although that requires another very, very expensive piece of equipment. We've already got a forage harvester, a big M, and a very large AGCO harvester. So grabbing a self-propelled potato harvester ties a lot of equipment up into very specific jobs. I'm not complaining about that because obviously our harvester is awesome, and our forage harvester is, I mean, it's big, it's not the biggest, we could get a bigger one, but it's good enough to be going on with, and the Big M was a major improvement over the Valtra with the reverse drive mower, the Alho mower. So I'm okay having that big equipment, because it does make the jobs we're doing significantly easier. But when you're sitting and saying, well, should I go with sugar beets and buy a sugar beet harvester, that's a big investment, and I'm not sure I want to do that right away. You know, as the farm goes on, obviously. When it gets to the point where, oh, I've got a spare $500,000 lying around and I don't know what to do with it, buying a potato harvester at that point, that might be a consideration. Especially if one comes up in store sales. But right now I'm not, yeah, potato harvester in the store sales, well, that's nice, but really don't need one. Hi dear again. You really need to stop eating my grass. It's not going to taste very good with fertilizer on it. Trust me. And round we go. So as I've said, yeah, this tractor could possibly benefit from having GPS. It would make the passes across the field far more efficient. However, using the mini-map, I can see where we need to spray, so it's not like I'm missing anything. And I think the more important point is I'm not missing anything, as opposed to I'm overspraying things multiple times, because the sensors in the equipment take care of the application passage where I've already been. So I'm not wasting anything, but except fuel, because I'm not taking the most efficient clearance across the field. Okay, we're down to 71%. So I think one, maybe two more passes. Well, one and a bit. And we'll be done on this field. Then I'm going to move to the field behind the trees next, I think. What's the time? The time is 10:15. Wow, we've actually been in quite well. It's deeper into the day than I thought it was. We've been streaming for Live Unstable. Yeah, it's not going to tell me how long I've been streaming for on that screen. That screen says I have been streaming for, oh, an hour and a half. Yeah, I did start a little bit late this morning. Oh. Not entirely my fault. Teenage Osa needed to get up and make breakfast for the kids, and she waited till the last possible minute and then decided she wanted to cook something fairly major for them rather than, hey, have some toast and eggs. which is what we normally do. But, oh sir, defrosted some bacon, let's eat all of it, was the name of the game this morning. Alrighty. So this is going to, well, this is going to use up a lot more. Although it looks like barley isn't too serious about its fertilizer use. It is somewhat. It is more than the grass, so we're going to chomp through this. We've used we used 30%. We've done 3 grass fields, one of which was significant need. Another one was patchy at best. And then the third one was pretty much our average use. This corner does need a lot of fertilizer. But just the corner. But I would expect this to use quite a little bit more than what we have been. Oh. Okay, I'm going to back this a ways. Try and get that a little bit straighter along the edge. Awesome stuff. Okay. So yeah, chances are I'll probably talk to Mrs. Osa, see what she says about me getting a new side panel joystick thing and replacing the one I have. Although this month we also need to go out and buy some lumber to make some planters for the deck, so we can plant some vegetables this year. I know approximately what I need now, I just need to know exact numbers. So I might draw up a cut list sometime today. Then we have I may get round to cutting those or buying those lengths of wood. I should be able to cut the lengths of wood I need for the bench work for the model railway and get that task completed this week. It's like I said, vacation, I can take some time to do other things this week, like go and buy lumber and cut lumber. Not sure I'll get. I might also try and get at least a couple of planters assembled so that Mrs. Osa, when she feels like it, can put plastic sheet in it and fill it with dirt. But we're not in a big hurry right now. The problem was last year, she sort of came to me in April and said, oh, I need some planters to plant some vegetables. It's planting season next week. And it's sort of, okay, big rush to get everything assembled and filled with dirt and ready to plant. This year we know ahead of time what we need.
And this is the mountain I'm supposed to be at.
So I'll be able to,
I just made my way over to the bottom.
while not necessarily taking my time, I will be able to get it
that I can watch
done.
On YouTube. Because I want to.
So, here we go. Actually, what are we doing? No, 61%. We've already used 9% on this field. So this is a... this is still a little bit of a heavy usage here. And I have no idea how much we're going to need for the contract field. I just know contract fields don't take long, so it's a good deal. Some of my favourite contracts are fertilisation contracts because you can get them done really quickly. They're not too expensive to get started. And yeah, they pay. They cover the if you fill the fertilization tank, they cover the cost of doing the fertilization contract and doing some of your fields as well. So what I'll usually do is I'll fill the tank up. The contract will more than pay for that, and then I'll use some of the fertilizer on my fields. Typically, yeah, I'll use 20-30% of the fertilizer on the contract, and all the rest is available for me, which is a good thing. Lots of people walking through the office. Oh, and my weight is broken. Oh, how sad. No idea whether that means it's getting lighter or if it's getting heavier, or why you actually need to service a weight. I do anyway, just because why not? Rest of the equipment, 80%. We're probably going to need to service all of this at the end of these jobs as well. Ooh, 56. Now this field was in the best condition, which does mean that we are going to use significantly more fertilizer in the other barley field, even though it's smaller. I think our usage is going to be much higher. Still. Keep this so that the end spray nozzle is not... I try and keep it so the end spray nozzle is not running. That's less efficient. Well, that's significantly less efficient. So we'll be looking at this level of greenness for the fertilizer levels on the other field, and as you can see, the other field is very dark orange, so we're going to have to put a lot out there to get that up to good condition. As I said, we're doing more. Oh, it's lunchtime. Lunchtime on the farm. So I've already used 20% of the tank, and we've still got probably a third of the field left to do, I guess. This is a nice size field. Gonna get some good yield here. I suppose the question for next harvest, which will be spring because it's barley, do I want to buy the grain mill or do I want to buy a silo? I mean, obviously the choices are, I don't have a silo on the farm. If I want to store the barley until the best time to sell, I have the expense of a silo. Or I buy the grain mill production facility and I store all my barley there, and it turns into flour, which makes it more valuable. Again, we can buy the bakery and make bread out of the flour, which makes it more valuable. Gives me somewhere to store the flour, but it's, you know, it's do I just want to store it and wait for it to gain value, or do I want to store it and make it more valuable? And the cost of the barley mill or the flour mill isn't probably, it's probably about the same cost as buying the silos, and I don't need silos for anything else this year. And if we grow wheat, sorghum, oats over the coming years, then again I can ship them off to the flour mill. I don't have to store them on the farm. The only thing, as we expand the crop, so if I do decide to plant canola, I would need a silo or an oil mill. If I decide to do sugar beets, I would need something, or a sugar mill. Same with potatoes, although there's no base game potato production, and I'm not adding the premium expansion, which gave us the stuff, the root crops and potato manufacturing facilities and what have you. I could and just not plant them, but I don't want to introduce complications with all the mods we're running. We already had a complication last week, was it, where Rain Pane stopped working and screwed up the mud mod and made me a bit frustrated, but we've got both of those turned off now, which is unfortunate, but it is what it is. I don't want to introduce a mod that effectively causes problems on the farm. I'd like it to remain as stable as possible. I know some people suggest once you've started a series, do not upgrade the mods you're using on that series, because you might break something. So don't update the map. We have done that in the past, where I've just said I'm not updating the map because it might break a thing. Upgrading tractors and equipment, that sort of thing, usually doesn't break anything. It's when you're changing script mods can break things, and so it's worthwhile just sticking with the script mod you have loaded and not messing with it. So I don't think the Rain Pane mod has been recently updated. Yes, that is the layout. Or the mud mod. Well, the mud mod might have been. But it might have been one of the other script mods that messed the Rain Pane mod up and caused all my issues. How do I get to the road? Do I get to the road? I guess I can go down here and see where we end up. That was about 30% on that thing. Okay, there's a gap there. But this is the end of the field, and I want to be across the street there. I want to be on the other side of that hedge. Okay. We'll just drive on someone's field. I'll never notice I have narrow tyres. That crop looks kind of withered. I'm guessing it probably isn't. Okay, so there is a path down here. Guess we'll go find out where this goes. Oh, this might be the path I usually take. That was less than ideal. Now, it looks like there might be a gap to our left there, but it doesn't look like it goes anywhere. No. We're going to end up on the road. That is what it is. % load. I think we're probably okay. Come on, struggle, struggle.